Thank you all for being here. I'm William Glass. I'm the director of Birmingham AI. And really excited because this is our very first HR People Operations Breakout. So thank you all for being here. Can I get a round of applause for y'all? Yeah? Very cool. Who's here for the first time at a Birmingham AI event? Look at that. Okay, a lot. That's like what, like 70%, 80% of the room? Awesome, well, welcome. How did you guys hear, I'm just curious, how did you hear about Birmingham AI? Just shout it out. Emily, LinkedIn. Austin. Who's that? No. Austin's one of the founders of Birmingham AI, so that you know. Anybody else? Depot? Depot. Awesome.
JG with my tech.
JG, yes, yes.
We have some folks coming to the other sessions.
My
office, so I was tapped to come to the HR session.
Coworkers, awesome. Great. Well, thank you for being here. We're excited to have you. And I'll share a little bit about Birmingham AI. So we are a nonprofit. We are a 501c3, and our mission is to accelerate AI adoption here in the city. And what that means is we ultimately want AI to be a net job creator. As you all know, HR people space, there's a lot of noise, which we'll definitely talk about. And our goal is to make sure that Birmingham is positioned, we have the talent, our companies are set up for success, and we're able to help people through this transformational time that we're going through from a technological perspective. It's changing all the ways we work, the ways we live, the way we play, the way we worship. It's affecting everything. And that's why y'all are here. So thank you for being here. My clicker's having some, there we go. If you're not familiar with Birmingham AI, we started in 2023. It was just a meetup, a couple people, Austin Sensman, Will Blackburn, our two founders. They were just like, hey, we're starting to use this ChatGPT thing at work. I wonder if other people are too. And they threw up an Eventbrite page, and about 50 people registered, 15 people showed up in the training room. 60? Sorry. 60 of us. 60. 60. 60 people. 50, 15. All right, so 60. You heard my embellishing of the story of our growth. Come on, Dave. All right, anyway, so we were a hit right from the get-go. Point being is we now have about 200, 250 people that show up to our general meetup every month, and we've launched these breakout groups to have more intimate conversations and be more focused in terms of how we talk about AI, how it's impacting different areas. So just to give you some numbers of what we've done, we've gone from this meetup to a movement. We're now officially a nonprofit, and we're really here to help Birmingham through that transition with AI. So we've had about 3,000 unique people walk through the doors since 2023. All in-person meetups, none of this online, all here physical at Innovation Depot. Oh man, this thing is not. About 800 people between our last meetups will walk through the doors. So 800 people are reaching now a month, which is pretty cool. And we have breakouts around marketing, finance, software engineering, HR here, and nonprofit groups. And in 2026, we'll be launching even more focused on sales, healthcare, education, and cybersecurity. So encourage your colleagues, your coworkers to please come out and learn. Obviously, we've got some referrals already in the room. So our goal, though, is to help upskill everybody. And this quote stuck with me. This was from somebody that's been coming to a Birmingham AI for about a year now. And they said that this is the most ambitious room. People that are here to upskill themselves, get better at work, help upskill their organizations. And ultimately, there's just a different energy about Birmingham AI. So I hope that you feel that here. And each breakout has its own kind of energy as well. And so that's what we want to capture. We're all here to get better. We're here to grow. And as people leaders, help organizations, individuals transfer. So that's what I have, and we like to say this is a conversation about the future. We're not a, hey, AI's gonna, everybody should do it, it's perfect, it's gonna solve all of our problems. That's not our take. It is a conversation. There are some scary things about it. There are some really positive things about it. And it's our job to kind of figure out how do we work with this technology to improve our lives. And so this is a conversation we're having together, and today is that first conversation for this group. So we start that conversation today, and this is something that's gonna be ongoing. You guys have probably seen some of these types of headlines. Anybody seen these, you know? Yeah. Jobpocalypse, where did all the entry-level jobs go? Oh, you know, former Cisco CEO, dangerous prediction, 50% of Fortune 500 companies are gonna go away, much less just the jobs. Amazon cutting jobs, weak jobs reports. Anthropic says all entry-level jobs for white-collar workers are going away. So we're seeing these kind of scary. Have you all been reading these? Are you hearing this at your organizations? People worried? Are you genuinely worried? I'm worried. Concerned? At the same time, we see these, 4-day work week coming. AI is going to make it where, hey, we get the 4-day work week, finally. There's new types of engineers, new jobs that are being created, 10 new jobs. This is from Salesforce of what they're seeing. Reshaping, 16 more roles. So we're kind of in this transition period. And the question is AI good or bad? And that's what we're going to answer together over today. We're going to start the conversation. And we're going to have this conversation as an ongoing just way that we figure out how do we navigate this space. So it's going to be an ongoing conversation we have. But the reason why this group exists in particular, so I told you about Birmingham AI's mission, but our mission here, and it is a slide, and I'm going to read it to you, and I apologize, but I think it's important to set the tone for why we're all gathered. We have kind of come up with this idea for this group to make Birmingham a national model for how AI enhances the human experience at work. We want our organizations to be amplified. So how do we amplify empathy, equity, effectiveness, and equip our HR leaders to architect these people-first cultures? So that's our mission for this group in particular. Does that resonate with anybody? Yes? What about it, just out of curiosity?
I just like that it's not taking the people out, it's putting them forward in the process, which is really radical.
I love that. It's like you read our minds of what we want to talk about today. Absolutely.
Can you repeat what she said? We couldn't hear her.
I said it is radical in that it puts people forward, whereas most of what you hear is AI is going to replace people.
So yeah, enhancing people, right? How do we put people first? AI helps us put people first. You can spend more time with people rather than on the administrative tasks. So our vision ultimately is to equip HR and people ops professionals with the tools, mindset, and community to lead in this AI-powered future. And we're going to do this through these monthly meetups. We're going to get together each month and have a conversation. We're going to look at different demos, different tools. Today, we're just starting the conversation, so we're not going to dive too deep, but we're going to start to have more of the broader conversation setting of what does it mean in the AI age. So we're going to look at that intersection of AI, meaning, and human potential. Talk about real-world applications, risks, implications, what are the tools people are using, what's working, what's not working. And we're going to build this collaborative network of forward-thinking HR leaders, you all, in the room. And again, leading with candor and curiosity. We're not here to push one specific agenda. Our goal is to figure this out as we go. So we want you to have an opinion, and we hope that we can help you form that opinion about how AI is going to impact your work and the folks that you serve. So I want to just kind of wrap this up really quickly before I hand it over to our stars of the day. Kristen attended a Birmingham AI meetup in February. It was her first one. And she's a medical copywriter. Del Smith is a business leader here. He was on stage talking about how they just happened to be in the medical field, and they had a medical research writer leave, copywriter leave. And he said, we didn't have to replace that job, because AI is making our team more effective. And so Kristen was in the room and heard that, and she's like, that's my job, gone. And so what she did is she kept attending Birmingham AI meetups, but she went out on her own and started taking Coursera courses and learning how is AI going to impact her as a copywriter. And she figured out what AI is good at and what it's not good at it. And so for her, she realized the editing side of what she does is something that AI will never be able to replace. And that kind of creative side. And so she actually ended up launching her own little business in April, so February to April. And when I talked to her last in July, she'd just gotten her first 2 customers. And so the reason I'm telling you this story is y'all are here because you see something happening and you're leaning in. And we need to help empower people to lean in and figure out how this stuff is going to impact them. Because when we do this here, we create more opportunity for ourselves and we're able to navigate that. So I will then lead this over to Brantley Fry to share some more.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stay seated if y'all are cool with that. Can everybody hear me okay? So my name is Brantley Fry, as William mentioned, and I'm a partner at TechCX. We're a firm based in Atlanta with about 125 partners who serve as fractional executives. I serve in the fractional chief people officer seat, and it's a great honor to help high growth organizations with their people strategies, and AI has become something I'm really, really curious and interested about. So I'm really excited to see you all here. I hope you share that curiosity. I don't think you would be here otherwise. But there are a few things that William said that I just want to expand on a little bit as we think about AI from the people operations standpoint. And I love Kristen's story in particular because it speaks to curiosity, right? She saw this as an opportunity to learn and grow as opposed to something to be afraid of. And so I think particularly as people officer or people operations and people leaders, we have that same opportunity. And when I think about how AI might influence the work that we do on a daily basis, I see it as a great opportunity for employee engagement. Instead of thinking about how, and I also love Birmingham AI's mission or tagline, thinking about how AI is happening for us instead of to us. And so if we take that same approach with our employees, then all of a sudden this becomes an exciting tool instead of something that's really scary. So I would just encourage you to think about how AI isn't replacing work, it's just rewiring it. And leaning into the change management principles that I'm sure most, if not everybody in this room is very familiar with. You do it on a daily basis as people operations and HR professionals. And so this is no different. It feels different because it's happening so quickly. And it's radically changing the workforce. So I would be naive if I didn't acknowledge that. But there are some tried and true principles that we can apply in this space. And I think change management is one of those, and also thinking about how to engage employees. So I'll go to the next slide. So one of the ways we can do this is reframing risk. And so we're talking about reframing. We're talking about reframing risk. And this is actually a framework that was in the Harvard Business Review. And from my perspective, it thinks about how we can integrate people and machines. So keeping a people first mentality and really thinking about our employees and how are we making our workplaces the very best for them. AI gives them an opportunity to increase productivity. I think about AI personally because it gives me the opportunity to focus on the things that I like doing, which only humans can do. And that's relationship building, that is thinking through different opportunities for team structure. I can ask AI those questions and it's helpful to get me started, but there are certain things that AI simply can't do. So if you think about kind of this high cost of error up in the upper left-hand quadrant, one of the things that maybe you all have read about recently, which is actually a local example, there was a law firm that was sanctioned because one of the attorneys, and I'm a lawyer by training, so this was particularly interesting to me, a few lawyers were sanctioned because there was a brief filed with the court with cases that had been hallucinated. So this is a huge no-no. I think the sanctions are still pending as to what that means. There are some people who are advocating for this person's law license to be suspended. So it has dire consequences if we use it in a way that's that doesn't have human oversight. So I think about that as a great example of this kind of far left corner. The other thing that you'll hear people say is using AI as an intern as opposed to a full-on employee. So use it a lot, but offer some oversight. And so I like this framework because it helps me kind of think about, as I'm assigning jobs, I'm thinking about job integration between humans and machines, what needs to stay human and what needs to be pushed to AI for productivity's sake. So I talked earlier about AI as a pressure test for leaders. And so how do we take that pressure and turn it into possibility? Well, I talked about one way we might do that, and that's thinking through change management and employee engagement. Let's get our employees involved. Let's ask them, how are you using AI? If you are using AI, how do you want to use AI? What do you know about it? What do you need to know about it? And really think about it as a group exercise where you can talk to the people who are on the front lines doing the daily work and see what are some of the friction points that they have that you can assist them in implementing AI solutions. So these are some of the questions. I'll give one other story really quick, and then I'm going to turn it over to Kelly. But I had the opportunity to co-facilitate a session at our partner meeting a week or so ago, and one of my colleagues who serves in the tech space was talking about how he helped a client create an AI policy. And the AI policy was something to the effect of, don't use it. It's not secure, don't use it, we can't do it, all the things. And he's coming from a technology and an information security standpoint. And so my question to him was, well, how are you enforcing that? Y'all, I mean, blank stare. Blank stare. So it illustrated a couple of different things to me. First is he probably did not engage somebody in the people operations space to help him with that change management. It was probably just a policy that was issued company-wide in a memo or something, and nobody talked about the how or why. And then it also illustrated kind of the reality of AI. People are going to use AI in some form or fashion. So how are we enabling them to do it, not creating spaces so that they're hiding from us and doing it behind our backs? So that's a little bit of the things that I'm thinking about in this space, and I'm so excited that you all are here to learn more with us. So thanks for being here.
Who has AI policy? Like, who has AI policies at their company? Just out of curiosity, like, show of hands. Your company has AI policies? Okay. Are they, don't use it? Use it? We use it? It's we, please use it?
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, just curious there. And then who's like recruiting? What areas of HR do we have in the room? On the recruiting side, who's on the recruiting side? Recruiting?
Recruiting.
Okay.
All of it.
Everything.
All things?
Everything.
Everything? Okay. I don't know. Cool. All right.
I actually learned about something last night at an event that I went to that was kind of interesting that I didn't know, called shadow AI. So speaking on like, oh, don't use it, we're shutting it down. So shadow AI is basically when you're using your own personal device. So like if your company's locking it down, saying you can't use it, then you're using your own personal device, your phone, and getting the work done and then bringing it over to like your work computer. Shadow AI. I thought it was really interesting, something I had never heard of. Yeah. All right, so I'm Kelly Nudesen. I am the Chief People Officer at a company called Kieseth. We are a local custom software engineering and cloud engineering and AI company. We're located in Cahaba Heights, and we have about 20 engineers here locally, which makes us a little different from kind of our other companies here. We are very Birmingham focused. We're very community focused. And we work with a lot of companies outside of Birmingham, but we really like having most of our people, here in Birmingham, working within the community. So I've been there for 8 years. I have a background in technical recruiting, and then ended up as the Chief People Officer at Kieseth several years ago. So when William and I talked about doing this HR breakout, I was really excited because a lot of times I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of trying to figure things out, and to have a community where we can get together and figure things out together and talk about them, and I can learn from you, you can learn from me, and I was just super excited. I was super pumped. So my goal here today is just to really introduce some basic things that I've learned in my role over the past 6 months, and then also learn from you guys and have an open dialogue and open conversation. I want to know what's working for you guys. What have you seen be a success? What have you seen be a failure? And we're just all in this together. So I was really excited, and thank you for having me here today. So I'm going to go really high level, and we're going to talk about the meaning of work. So we don't go to work every day to clock in and to clock out and to do spreadsheets and to answer emails and all of the things that we're tasked with doing. I go to work, and I'm sure as HR people ops professionals go to work every day to have a sense of purpose and a sense of belonging and a sense of meaning, that we're actually doing something that matters. For me, it matters, to my team, it matters to my clients, and that's the real reason why we go. It just gives us a sense of purpose, and that is just really something that AI cannot replace. You cannot replace the human element, the human aspect of caring. You know, at our company, like, we're just a team that's doing life together. Like, literally doing life together. We come to work every day, we solve really difficult problems, but we're just figuring it out every day. You know, thankfully, you know, we have a culture where we are very open and very connected and very collaborative with one another. But to me, that's just what makes my role very important, that I have the chance to actually serve our team, and I actually have a chance to impact our team and that human element that, you know, AI can't replace. It can't replace celebrating someone getting married, someone having a baby, someone going through a difficult time that they need a little more grace for. And for me, that's why at our company, we're just not fearful of AI. We're not fearful of it replacing our roles, because you can't replace empathy. You can't replace good judgment. You can't replace ethics. So, you know, I want to just kind of like help, like, calm it down a little bit, that, you know, everyone that's sitting in this room, your job matters. Your job is important. Your job is people. And we're just going to keep a people first attitude. And so it's very important. So just like lean into all of the qualities that you have that you know cannot be replaced by a computer. So we're not going to be fearful, okay? So how the meaning of work is shifting. So it is shifting. I mean, we've all seen it. We've all felt it. We may be getting it from top down, you know, pressure, you know, wherever you are within your organization. I firmly believe, and we firmly believe at Kieseth, that you're not going to lose your job to AI, but you may lose your job to someone that is using AI more effectively. So it's here. We got to get on board. We've got to embrace it. We can't be fearful of it. So yeah, just hang in there. What does that shift look like? I mean, basically it's just, you know, taking a lot of administrative tasks, answering, you know, emails, documentation, note taking, summaries of, you know, meeting notes and things like that. Taking those types of really task-oriented assignments away. AI can do that very effectively. It can do it, you know, very well. So but that's something that is just gonna like free us up to be able to have more time to do other things. Also, information to interpretation. It can provide summaries, it can provide sentiments, but it really cannot replace the things that I spoke about earlier. The empathy, the connection that you have with your coworkers. Helping understand like how you deal with a certain, you know, situation based upon the human element, because empathy requires understanding. One of like the most impactful things like I've seen at our company, we do bi-weekly one-on-ones, and that's something we've been doing for a couple of years. So all of our managers, they have a bi-weekly 30-minute meeting with everyone on our team. And it's kind of just a health check, like how are things going, how are things doing, but they literally have become like counseling sessions. We, as kind of the managers and the leaders of the company, I mean, it's a real connection point that is irreplaceable. Those one-on-ones are time where we really get to know about the person and their family and the things that they're going through. How is work-life balance? Like, what do they feel that they're really succeeding in? What do they feel that they need help with? And again, these are just all things that AI cannot replace. This is interesting. So fixed roles to lifetime learning. And this is something that we're all going to have to embrace. We're not going to have like really static roles anymore. Our roles are going to be evolving. Our roles are going to be changing. Our roles are going to be just constantly evolving. Curiosity is going to be our superpower. We've just really, I mean, we're going to have to lean into that if we're going to, really be strong thought leaders and strategic thought leaders for our organization. Learning what AI can actually help you do faster, more efficiently, so that you can actually automate those tasks and really lean into the people operations part of your job. So, right now, like, everyone in this room has an amazing opportunity to do great things in your organization. Like, it is our time to shine. We can lead the strategy behind our organizations and how we're implementing HR and protect the human element of work. That's our job. And we got this, like, we can do it. We're going to set the tone and make sure that technology is serving our people and not replacing them. Focus on what AI can help us with. And as Brantley was saying earlier, collaborate with your team. Go to your team and say, hey, what's the most mundane part of your job that you're doing? What's something that you really dislike doing? And look and research and see if like AI can kind of take that off your plate so you can focus on doing things that you enjoy doing. Creating a culture of connection. That's something that is so important to me at our company. In our engineering company, as most software companies work on teams. So we have 5 teams of 4 or 5 people. And it's so easy for them to operate as siloed companies. But if we just let that happen, we are doing a disservice to our company. We're doing a disservice to our coworkers. They're not learning from each other. They're not sharing knowledge. So one team may have like really conquered something amazing, and if the other team doesn't know about it, like, it's just a disservice. So really creating a culture of connection from a professional level, but also from a personal level. We do that through tech talks, through book clubs, through one-on-ones, through mentoring, and constantly just creating learning and growth opportunities, but also just getting to know people outside of your team and learning from one another. We have the opportunity to design meaningful roles. Go back to your job descriptions and look at kind of what each person has kind of been tasked to do, and think about how AI can kind of help with their role, their specific role. Create roles that are continuous learning. Create roles or enhance roles that actually are going to empower your coworkers to embrace AI and keep upskilling. And again, that kind of just goes into champion growth. And this is, something that I'm excited about, where we can lead the charge. We need to set a culture where innovation and curiosity is celebrated. If you mess up, we're kind of all in this together and we're all experimenting. So have like a safe place where your team can, mess up and, just kind of try to figure things out together. So we've got to create that culture where it is safe, and that we're all just kind of there to support each other. And again, one way that we kind of do that at Kieseth is really through mentoring sessions, and then also just leading book clubs. And I'm not an engineer, I am an HR person, but I will go to our technical book clubs just because there may be nuggets there that I can pick up that, help, me be more efficient in my job. So one of the things that I get asked about a lot, and we're gonna actually next year take more time to probably do like a really deeper dive into this. And it's probably going to change from today until we actually have the presentation. And is AI safe? As HR professionals, we own very personal information. So this is so important for us. That's why we're going to take kind of a whole session to do a deeper dive. For now, I'm going to leave you with this. If you wouldn't send it to an external vendor without an NDA, don't paste it into a commercial AI tool. You know, there are commercial AI tools. We use those for productivity. We use those for moving faster, generating content, you know, creating more inclusive job descriptions, things like that. Enterprise AI is something we're going to talk more about in a minute, but enterprise AI is going to be something that you probably already have within like your HRS tool, and maybe your CMS tool. Your company may be paying for Google Enterprise. They may be paying for Copilot Enterprise. And those enterprise level applications are much safer. They're held to different standards, you know, policies. And so we just need to like make sure that, you know, what tools that we're using, we know how to use them and what information to put in them. All right, so you may or may not be wondering, like, where do I start? For me, it was just kind of like we started talking really intensively about AI about 6 months ago, 7 months, 9 months ago. As the industry grows and all of these tools are put, you know, every day, Birmingham AI is sending out an email that's like, hey, this is a new tool, and or a new iteration on a tool. So you just may not know where to start. So these were just like some really easy kind of like things that I was thinking how I started. I started drafting emails through, we're a Google shop, so we have Google Gemini, and if you have that capability on your computer, you'll just see when you go to respond an email, it starts prompting you, or it will now ask you, hey, do you know, want me to draft this email? Easy peasy, so like time saving. I'm just gonna say, like, I very rarely draft my own email response these days. I go back and check it and reread it and make sure it's accurate, because sometimes it's not. Funny story about that. So I'll be quick. Sorry. My daughter goes to Spain Park, and she is not on this team was going to Japan. She was not going to Japan, but I got the email. So basically, the school had sent out an email that said, hey, the agenda for the Japan trip has changed. And this is going to be the new agenda. And then we're also going to be adding another trip to the Netherlands. And so if you don't get to go on the Japan trip, you can go on to the Netherlands, and then we're going to do this and do this. AI summarized that email is Japan trip is now going to Netherlands. My kid was not going to Japan or the Netherlands, but I was like, God, if my kid was, I would be freaking out right now. So I'm like, that's not true. That is not true. So it's not always accurate. You always have to go back and kind of check and make sure that everything is accurate, but because stuff like that can happen. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. All right. Definitely, if you have not heard of like blank page syndrome, like AI is so helpful with that, right? Right, Daniel? Yes. So for me, I'm not like a super creative person, but I can roll with ideas once they kind of get started. And so I really use Chat and Gemini to say, like, this is where I'm starting, this is where I need to go, like, help me get rolling. And I can take that and turn it into where I need it to be. But it's just like, it's very helpful with just the initial creation of the document or the presentation or whatever that you are putting together. Meeting summaries, so our company is like living by this. Again, we use Gemini, so anybody that's on the calendar invite for that meeting, we use Gemini to take notes. It will email you the meeting summary, so when you go back to your desk, like you've got everything recapped there. So helpful, so easy. One of the first things that I was most proud of, and my team's like, yay, Kelly, we do, yearly performance reviews, and our company actually uses Bamboo HR. Well, at the time when we did the performance reviews, Bamboo did not offer this capability. So we do 360 reviews, so we do manager reviews, peer feedback. The peer feedback is anonymous, but I took all of the peer feedback, put it into chat, asked it to summarize. So it was almost just like an extra layer of anonymity of being anonymous. It was a really like insightful sentiment that I could actually send to all of our coworkers after their performance reviews. And again, it was just an extra layer, because some people don't, you can kind of think, oh, I don't know who said that. But just kind of, summarizing it and using it as a sentiment. I've used it for job descriptions and really making my job descriptions like more inclusive. Getting, really kind of like prompting it to say, hey, like let's create inclusion in this job description. Like you can tell it to do that. And I've used that for newsletters. And also, let me tell you, presentations. Gamma is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Is anyone using Gamma? Gamma?
I will be.
Gamma, leave here and go use Gamma. I can do a presentation. I'm not great at it, so it still takes me a day. But what used to take me like 4 or 5 days, I can put into Gamma, and it will generate a presentation in minutes, basically. It will be, you can use your company's branding, your logo, you can add all of those things into it. I'm still learning that. So again, it's taking me a little longer, but you literally can plug in, hey, create a presentation on the meaning of AI and HR. And bam, like there you are. I love this real-time demo.
Awesome. I would encourage you to edit your own before, but
Absolutely.
Yeah.
you do your own content, but it will get you to a draft if you're not great at making presentations, and you can put in your own branding around.
How crazy is that?
But
Look how fast that is. It's not insane.
and you can edit things too. I don't like this picture. You can change it. And This is online. It's available to anybody. The free version gives you 10 slides, so if you want a longer presentation, you do need to pay for it, or you have to create the extra slides yourself. But sorry, I took us off track.
No,
it's
thank you
really
so
cool.
much. Like to see it. And this is probably something, again, in our 2026 sessions that we'll go into more, because we're really trying to stay high level right now. But Napkin is another tool that I've used. I kind of liked Gamma a little better, but I'm just playing with it, like literally just playing around with it, and learning a lot. And you can use Copilot for that. You can use Gemini for that. Again, I kind of touched on, you can use tools, enterprise tools that are already in, applications that your company is paying for. So these are the only places that you're really going to want to put confidential information, information about salaries, or you don't want to put like, oh, we're going to do a reorg and have a mass layoff. Like, even though you're not putting names in there, you're not going to want to use that in a commercial AI tool. You want to save those types of things for your enterprise level secure tools. So Culture Amp, Lattice, those types of things, they all have kind of AI embedded into their application. So those are safe places. Anything else, don't put confidential information in there. And also, upskill yourself. Like, this is now the time that, we really have to learn. And my, greatest thing that I have learned from the AI tools that I've used is learning how to ask great questions. Let's talk about prompting and context engineering, because it's a thing. But we can all be context engineering. So that means how can I ask my AI, prep my AI to give me the best results that I want. So I went to an event last night, and one of the HR AI professionals that was there she basically has kind of trained her AI to say, hey, I've got this project due by the end of the week. These are the other things that I have to do. I need X amount of focus time. This chat is acting as my project manager. Figure out my week. Plan my week for me. Plan the amount of time that I'm going to need to have to focus on this and put it on my calendar. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. We want more of that. So getting to the point where, you're asking really great questions and that you're learning how to prompt. And I'll tell you a secret. I didn't know how to use Gamma, so I went to ChatGPT and said, I want to use Gamma to create this presentation. Tell me how to prompt it. And then I took that prompt and put it into Gamma. And then I had a presentation.
These tools are smart enough
Alakazam.
to teach you how to use them. So if you don't know where to start, you can just say, hey, how do I use you? And it'll tell you how to use it. So
Yeah,
good hacks.
it's crazy. All right, so I'll wrap up. This is our motto at Kieseth, because we have companies coming to us saying, hey, we don't know where to get started. We're overwhelmed. We are just beaten over the head with AI. I've got top down all the way down to managers they want AI. AI is fun. We have had a blast over the past 6 to 9 months just learning new tools every day, kind of coming in. We've had more engaged tech talks than we have ever had in our company, because people are so excited to share what they're learning and to be able to talk about new and innovative ways and things that have helped to them. It's fun. Don't be fearful. Just have fun with it. It's also easier than you think. Again, like William said, it will teach you how to do it. Ask Gemini Copilot, how do I do something? How do I use another AI tool? It will tell you. And then you just do it. And then lastly, AI, it does apply specifically for us. We have the opportunity to be thought leaders in this area. We have the opportunity to lead the AI strategy within our company. So it is relevant, it is happening. So jump on board and have a good time.
So we're going to do, this is our first one, and we obviously want to make sure that we have really good conversations here and put tools, resources, talk about use cases, different ways within the community people are using AI, and put that on stage. And so we're going to take a couple minutes here to sort of have some conversations at our table. So if you're by yourself or you want a couple other friends, please get together, and we're going to do just a quick little roundtable discussion. And then we'll kind of share back some of the things that we heard at our tables. And we'll use that as a way to start the conversation, so as we go into 2026, we know what to put up here that will be really valuable for you all. So at your tables, we're going to do a quick 5-minute discussion, so make sure it's about a minute a person if there's 5 people at your table. And go ahead, if you're by yourself right now, go ahead and move to another table. And the first question we're going to talk about is what AI tools are you using today and what's working well versus what's not working. So what AI tools are you using and what's working, what's not working? 5 minutes, we're going to start the timer.
Compare these for me and give me an executive summary so that I can have just quickly see.
And Perplexity and Gemini are the tools that I use like on a daily basis. And then sometimes I have to go in and say, change it to sound a little bit more like my style, or change it to sound a little more friendly and not so,
Just being able to go to it for quick questions. Like I said, we pay for the ChatGPT, so we have that for a few of us, and then we just had a platform built for all of our employees when they need to compare policies.
One of the interesting things that I'm interested in when I come back to it is I've seen in our organization is people are using.
I'm not even thinking about what the policy said. I'm just answering the question. If I click AI Gemini, it answers that and says, and as a reminder, the policy and this is that, and then you can contact this. And I was like, okay.
Next question we have though, what are the opportunities you see? So what concerns are you having? What are you hearing internally? How are you addressing them? Let's go ahead and explain.
With us, we've got, first of all, they give us the flexibility to push beyond that. So we're the only company that's not using Breakout right now. So yeah, they've been pretty locked down on this.
Discussions, so I just haven't been there involved. We did have a recent firm-wide of attorneys in Nashville that talked about, for me, that's kind of front and center when I'm evaluating jobs.
So I went for myself, so I don't necessarily have any concerns. I guess I do have concerns, but I don't know really what they are and how they're going to impact me moving forward, especially like scaling.
Hack our lives and make us, so it's like those two parts of me trying to like learn to work together. Because I can get into a good also, I do like the same time.
Concerns?
Notebook LM. Notebook? Notebook LM.
Notebook LM. Yes. You want a little more than Notebook LM explanation?
All right. So with Notebook LM, you can give it, it's a Google product. It does have a free version. It does a lot more if you have the Google Pro or higher plan. So you can give it PDFs, other documents, websites, YouTube videos, also Gemini 3.0 that just came out. It's the only one that can directly analyze videos. ChatGPT cannot do that. And then with Notebook LM, you can create reports, you can create mind maps, you can create study guides, you can create podcasts, video podcasts. You cannot download those podcasts. So they all stay within Notebook LM, and the same with the mind maps, but other things you can download or copy and paste. So
it's a good tool.
Is there a free version or?
yes,
There is a free version. Other takeaways? Anything you've heard? Sure. Yes.
So what I heard, which I already knew, is AI is wonderful. I love me some AI. But we were just discussing the biases that has been incorporated in AI. So that's something that we brought up, and that's something that we need to think about. And when we're relying on AI, we still have to use our own ethical human intuition and professionalism, because AI has a lot of biases built into it, incorporated into it.
So I learned something the other day. Many of you probably already know this, but I was so excited to learn. Do you know that AI in ChatGPT, it has, got it. I'm gonna have two mics. Y'all are gonna really hear me. So it has this capability that is trying to please you. It is built to do that. You can turn off the sycophant mode. I had no idea. So you can tell it not to make you happy or to challenge your thinking by turning off the sycophant mode. Thought I'd share that little fun fact.
That is a good one. There's also other tools out there and models. So for example, there's different, besides the big like 4 or 5 that you've heard about, Miles College, for example, uses a large language model called Latimer that was trained specifically on Black and Indigenous voices. So it removes some of the bias that might exist in some of the other larger models. So there are other tools that you can explore if you're worried about specific types of bias that's worth being aware of.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I did Hey Jen, and I did a little video like trying to test my AI avatar type situation. And I was in there searching, it was not a black face, a black voice. And I'm like, look, I want to be a voice because I have a nice voice. So I asked Chad, how do I go about being a voiceover? Because that's something that you don't think about, because it's not just one thing or one culture. We got to, if we gonna do this thing, let's do it right.
What was that tool, it's called Latimer. And yes, I know Miles College is one of their customers. We might get them to do something hopefully in 2026. So, our CEO. Yeah, John?
John Vereen, I do human efficiency optimization. And I was making a point in this conversation that we were having is when we understand large language models, we understand how AI learns these things. It is from humanity, right? So it's going to mirror whatever is learning, and then that's going to be its epistemology, if you will, and what it actually knows and how it's going to put things together. So if you're ever going to improve anything in this world, in this case AI, we have to lift the floor of our humanity. How do we do that? Intentionality. How do we do it? Through conversation, through, making it important to put people first, right? And be ethical, right? We try to train AI to be ethical. Guess what? It's not AI's ethics. It is our ethics that it's going to mirror. So if we're going to do anything, ladies and gentlemen, we can also use AI to help us become more efficient human beings than just existing well. So I just wanted to put that out there real quick.
Sorry. That's all right. All right. We'd love to keep taking questions, but for time's sake, I want to be respectful of y'all's time. We really do want feedback, and this is the longest feedback form we'll ever give you because we want to capture some of the things that you talked about at your groups, to share what are some of the tools, what are the things that you want to learn. So this will take a little bit longer. Typically, it's just a 1-question survey for us as feedback, but this one is maybe 10 questions or so. But if you don't mind,
You'll be fine.
Don't worry, it's not a 45-minute survey, but we really would like to hear what is it that you want us to share so that Brantley and Kelly can create this environment where we get the things that you want to talk about on stage.
Well, and also so you don't just hear from Brantley and Kelly, because I don't know if we said this enough, neither one of us are experts on this. We are learning with you. And so really, really relying on you all to fill in those blanks so that we can make programming that's valuable for all of us.
Yes, and for those of you that want more, this will be our first for this year and last for this year. We'll pick this back up in February, but in January, Birmingham AI is doing a much larger event that brings all of the breakout groups together. It's going to be at Red Mountain Theater on January 14th. It's an after-hours event, so 4:30 to 8. We've got OpenAI that we're bringing into town as well, so they'll be there, and there's going to be experiences. So you'll actually be able to see how AI is being used across all of the breakouts. They're going to highlight a specific use case. So I encourage you to attend that. please come. There's going to be food and drinks, a lot of fun, and a bigger room of more curious people. So I'll put up the information for that here. It's the only ticketed event we've ever done, but it's the best $30 investment you'll ever make. So I definitely encourage you all to be there. And anything else that you guys would like to share before we wrap up?
Just thank you all for being here and coming with open minds and a lot of curiosity. And good luck as we go into this brave new world and find ways to support our employees.
Yeah, and I would just say, thank you for taking the time to fill out this survey. It's, please kind of just put some thought into consideration into it, because we really want 2026 to be full of information that makes your life and job valuable, like more valuable, easier, more efficient, like all the things. So we're looking to you guys, like you are the people that can help, bring the ideas that we want to dive more into. So thank you.
Is there a question?
Yeah, I don't really have a question, but I really applaud your use of Red Mountain Theater. Great venue.
You're not biased or anything, are you?
No, I'm retired. I just want to throw out real quick, as a storyteller in the room, everyone was super pumped about these presentation, like, whoa! And Will was doing it live, and it's like, bringing up these, amazing slides and presentations. Please tell the engine, no font smaller than 32.
Preach.
And evocative images that provoke action. That is a great presentation. And a story. Because it was chucking out a whole bunch of information, and if you bring me a PowerPoint with paragraphs on it, I'm going to kill you.
You're here.
That's it. Thank you all. You're welcome to hang out. We've got more food. We've got some more food.